Hi, my name is Danny Hold and I'm the head PGA professional here at the Chadwell Springs Family Golf Centre. Today, in episode 3 of the Beginner's Guide to Golf, we're going to be looking at pitching. So let's talk pitching. What is pitching? Pitching is basically where the ball is going to spend a lot more time in the air than what it will do on the floor. So it's kind of the opposite to chipping. Chipping, we see the ball spend a lot more time on the floor than what it will do in the air because we want to get the ball rolling. But in pitching, it's the reverse. We want to try and get the ball up in the air as quickly as we possibly can, land it on the green so it hopefully stops pretty quickly and nice and close to the flag. Now we're going to be using this shot for several different scenarios. It might be where you've got a hedge in front of you and you've got to just kind of chip it back into play and chip it out of trouble. But the majority of the time that we're going to be using this shot is when we're on the golf course and we're faced with a particular yardage to the flag where we can't play a full shot, because if we played a full shot, the ball's going to go miles too far, probably over the back of the green and into the rubbish over the back, or we can't play a chip shot because the flag is too far away to play our little bump and run or chip shot. So the pitch shot is probably going to be a shot that we're going to play quite often. Now, we're going to talk about the setup and how we play it too. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's talk about the setup of the pitch shot. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our grip that we've chosen. As we mentioned in the previous couple of videos, there's different types of grips that you can choose, but when you're playing a bit more of a fuller shot or a half shot like this, it tends to be 3 typical grips that you're going to be choosing. Remember, it is very important that you must go and see your local PGA pro. He or she will make sure that they are going to give you the right expert advice for the grip that's going to sort your game of golf out. So, my grip is the interlock grip. So I've got my grip, I've got the ball in place, I've got the club face going straight towards my target. I'm going to have the ball in the middle of our stance, and this is basically to help maintain the loft on the club so we can get the ball up in the air as soon as possible. Instead of chipping where we've got the ball inside our right foot or in line with our big right toe, this is to keep the ball nice and low. But again, in this shot, we want to get the ball up in the air, right? So we're going to put the ball in the middle, got our grip, we've got our club face going towards the target, and as you can see, I've still got my hands slightly further forward of the ball. So there's going to be a straight line going through the shaft and through my left arm, just like chipping, but obviously the ball's further forward. So I've got our setup. I might tend to have a little bit more body weight towards my left hand side, maybe 60% on my left and 40% on my right. And I'm also going to have my stance parallel to where I'm aiming. Some people like to open their feet because it's such a small shot, you want to try and get your hips out of the way, but for me personally, I like to keep my feet parallel to where I'm pointing or where I want to be going. But again, I can't stress this enough, is you must go and see your local PGA pro and he or she will give you the best expert advice. So, let's have a look. So I've got my setup, I'm ready to go. Now for the swing itself, I'm going to make sure that I keep my club face pointing back towards the ball for as long as I possibly can. And like the chip shot, I'm just going to let my arms and shoulders rock backwards until we get the left arm pointing towards 9 o'clock. Now remember the clock face analogy that we was using for your chipping, it's going to be a little bit different but kind of same to your pitching. So we're going to get to this point, and then from this point onwards, where the left arm is pointing towards your 9 o'clock, we're going to try and get those wrists hinging a little bit more, so we've got like an L shape in here or a 90-degree angle on this side. From this point, we're going to accelerate down through, keeping your hands coming down past the ball before the club gets there, and then we're going to keep swinging through until we get another L shape, or your right arm is now pointing towards 3 o'clock. Because the momentum of your swing is going to be quite fast and it's going to be speedy, you might see your hands and your arms go a little bit further up, but don't worry about that. Just make sure that we get this continuity of your swing going through, and this is going to give you a distance. Now, I've got my 58-degree wedge, tightest vokey wedge here. This half shot for me, or this 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock shot, goes 50 yards. So I know when I'm on the golf course and I've got a flag that's about 50 yards or so, I'm going to get my 58-degree wedge, I'm going to do my 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock shot, and I'm pretty confident that's going to be somewhere around the flag. So let's give it a go. So yeah, that's gone about 50 yards. Now, let's say I had a target that's going to be 60 yards or so. All I'm going to do is change the club. I'm going to settle towards the ball exactly the same. I'm going to do the swing exactly the same, but I'm going to go for a 54-degree wedge. If I want to go a little bit further, I'll go for my 50-degree wedge. If I want to go a little bit further than that, I'll use my pitching wedge. So I'm going to have 4 wedges in my bag. That's going to go 4 different distances when I do this 9 o'clock shot to 3 o'clock. Just to make sure it gives me a lot of confidence when I get onto the golf course, when I've got those tricky little yardages, that I'm going to pick the right club out of my bag and play the right shot. I hope this has all made sense. If you have any questions, make sure that you get in contact with me via my website, which is just below, or you can also contact me via social media. Take care and bye for now.